Hey everyone, Doug A798 here. I'm here to give my thoughts on the CW's new animated cartoon Saturday morning block, the Vortexx, which of course is replacing 4Kids' Toonzai blocks. I think Saban acquired most of 4Kids' programming after 4Kids filed for bankruptcy after some Yu-Gi-Oh lawsuit. I gotta read up more on that because I actually like 4Kids, and it sucks have it sucks that they've gone bankrupt. But I'm glad Saban is replacing. I'm glad CW is replacing that awful Toonzai block 4Kids had with this new fresh Vortexx box, which I think is awesome. It reminds me of Fox Kids from the 90s and the Fox box from the early 90s, which originally became 4Kids TV. I think this is I'm really happy that Saturday morning cartoons and primetime cartoons are starting to make a comeback, because I'm really sick of all this live action. I'm sick of all this live action garbage on Nickelodeon, Disney, and Cartoon Network, and I'm sick of these filler blocks of cartoons and crappy cartoons on Nickelodeon, Disney, and Cartoon Network. So, like I said before, I'm glad there are Saturday morning blocks like the Vortexx and other primetime cartoon blocks like Hulu and Boomerang and Nicktoons Network. Even though I don't think Nicktoons Network is that good, but it's much better than the what's his name Nickelodeon. Okay, the first show that comes on, this block starts at 8 o'clock on Saturday. Sometimes starts at 7 o'clock on Saturday. For some people like myself, it's 7 o'clock on Sunday, even though it's advertised as Saturday morning cartoons. The first show of the day is Cubics Robots for Everyone. This show has been shown on Kids WB and the Fox box. This is a pretty good show. I never really cared much for the show, but it's a good filler show. The next show of the night, the next show of the day is Rescue Heroes. This was also shown, I think, on Fox Kids and Kids WB. Once again, I thought the action figures were cool when I was a kid, but I really never cared for this show. This is another filler show. The next show is Iron Man Armored Adventures. This is a good show. However, I don't like the animation, but it's a good animated cartoon for this awesome cartoon block. The next show, oh man, I love the next one. The next one is Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. I love Power Rangers. I didn't watch much of this show when it was on, back when it was on, but when I was watching it, I remember it was awesome, and I remember the action figures being awesome. So I'm really glad this show returned. The next show is Justice League Unlimited. Justice League Unlimited. I'm glad this show has returned. I was happy when it returned briefly on Cartoon Network in 2009, and I'm happy to see it here. Next show of the night is Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexo. It's a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Show. Really don't care much for it, but I guess it's good for kids and new viewers. The next show, of course, is the worst show on the block, and that's WWE Saturday Morning Slam, which is some crappy WWE wrestling show for kids on Saturday. I'm really fed up with anything that WWE has been doing this year. They have sucked since 2008, and it's not stopping anytime soon. And then the next show is Yu-Gi-Oh! The next show is Dragon Ball Z Kai. Okay, I hate Dragon Ball Z Kai, but I understand why it's on. But at least I'm more accepting of it being on 4Kids and Saban, because that's where Dragon Ball Z was originally home to. Dragon Ball Z, the first time I saw Dragon Ball Z was in '97 on UPN, which is now the CW. So I'm less. I don't like Dragon Ball Z Kai, but I understand why it's here. I'm more accepting of it being on a 4Kids block or a Saban block than I am it being on freaking Nicktoons. So yeah, and the final show is the original Yu-Gi-Oh. I love the original Yu-Gi-Oh. Even if it's reruns, it's my favorite one. So yeah, like I said before, this is a good Saturday morning block. This block for some people starts on Sunday at 7 o'clock. So yeah, well, this is my thought. Well, this has been my thoughts on the new Vortexx blocks. I'm gonna be doing a lot of review thoughts on these different cartoon blocks and some rants on a lot of different channels and some reviews on shows. So yeah, all right, Doug out.